Today I want to take a look at the Orisa defenses that we're seeing on King's Row A in Stage 4 of OWL Season 1. These are based around having Orisa and holding the high ground. So generally speaking, we're positioning our shield right here. And I guess we'll get rid of the title card. It lets you control the high ground on this point. So this is the point-ish. And with your Orisa here, your Diva, you have Widow that's behind a shield to counter snipe, Junkrat, and then you have control of all the upper halls here, looping around, all the high ground surrounding the point. The big problem with this composition is its ability to contest the point itself. So you're on Orisa Diva and you're doing something that's very similar to any other like dive defense where you're kind of cycling tanks on the point. So a very common thing will be the Diva goes here until they're pressured off. But then what? Diva needs time to heal up and you still need to contest the point. So what happens is the Orisa has to rotate onto the point eventually. The idea is that you're buying enough time to abuse this position and abuse like Widow and Junkrat to get a pick and turn the fight in your favor. But if the other team plays safe and they don't let that happen, eventually your Orisa has to rotate the point. And if we watch some clips now, we're going to see that this is a very easily punished rotation. So Gesture goes down because he has to place his shield on the ground. This transition, even though it's super short from here to here, gets blown up for it. Especially like if you're running against snipers like Widow and Hanzo, they can just burst you down when you expose yourself in those situations. This is week 1. We have Dallas Fuel versus the Fusion. Exact same thing. So Dallas is pressuring the point. Sato already died here. So here's Dallas pressuring the point. Shield goes down. Someone needs to go. Sato gets discorded, deleted as he's trying to get onto point. This is Valiant versus Boston. Same thing. They try and make the rotation. Gamsu and Note come down with half health. Fate's all over him. And both of them get deleted. And it's this rotation to the point that's getting punished more and more and more. And there's not really a good solution if you're running the Orisa comp. You really need to get an advantage beforehand in order to make that transition easier. So if you're applying pressure to the snipers or you're forcing them out, like they can't stay on the point because they're down a person or their tanks are very low. But if that's not happening and you're at parity and you're making this rotation, it's creating an opening for the offense to stop you from being able to contest the point. So we see the same thing. This is a kind of variation on it where there's some miscommunication between Geggery and Fearless. So shield's going down. You see Fearless starts to make the rotation. We'll go over here. So he's making the rotation over here to drop down over here rather than this much more open area. So he wants to drop down over here. But Geggery's not quite on the same page. Shield goes down. She's thinking about dropping, realizes what's going on, tries to go back, gets deleted. Fearless makes a rotation by himself, but he's going to get punished because they're down the Diva, they're down the man. So now we come to yesterday and the Dallas's attack versus San Francisco Shock, and we want to take a look at how Dallas messed this up. And it's by not playing the point and not pressuring out this rotation. They actually tried to fight San Francisco on the high ground, and San Fran's just like, sure. You're not applying any pressure to the point, so they don't have to drop, and they don't have to give up position. So Seagull gets a nice pick, and you'll see the Zarya's, if Diva's trying to contest against a high energy Zarya, she just has to get right out of there. And Mickey goes to chase instead of staying on the point, sticking with his team, and forcing San Francisco to come to them. And he goes up here, and it kind of just like you see, there's no pressure on the point. He just stays up top. And now they're fighting this really awkward fight on the high ground where they don't need to be. Mickey basically kills himself by cornering himself there. And if they had just stayed on the ground, they stay on the point and stay alive there, then San Francisco has to come to them. Super has to expose himself to Taimu and Seagull. And you have a high energy Zarya that basically invalidates Choyabin's ability to contest the point. Not exactly taking advantage or recognizing that the weakness of what San Francisco's running.